to introduce Apex Legends officially to the channel. So today we're going to be discussing the current state the game's in. We need solos, there's no denying it. Broken legends in the game, and more specifically Caustic, server issues. Hey guys, it is the Hulk Gamer, and today I'm actually really happy because I'm finally getting to introduce Apex Legends officially to the channel, as I've wanted to for quite a while now. But initially, I actually planned to make a first impressions video of it, but eventually I found out it was quite redundant given how complex the game can be with its user interface and, game mechanics. Being a respawn shooter, something I wasn't used to, so much so that making a video around the time I started playing about 3 months ago, I think it was about halfway through season 4, it would have been pointless and quite difficult to gain good content due to more complicated game elements I wasn't used to. Basically, just like complementing game elements I wasn't used to from a background of other games like Call of Duty and Halo, basically my gaming background before becoming a content creator and starting out my channel. So today we're going to be discussing the current state the game's in and the well-known issues I know others have come across while playing Apex. And before I start, guys, let me say I love Apex. It's one of my favorite titles currently, and when I start streaming, which will be soon, it'll be right up there as one of my most streamed titles, definitely. So with that being said, the following issues, constructive criticism, not coming from bad players and negativity or bashing the game as I've seen so many YouTubers and streamers do, because you guys know that's not me. But it's more so to improve the game so it can live a much longer, happier life with its player base, because I genuinely believe Apex is currently the most all-rounded battle royale there is. And before we get into the video, guys, I just want to mention, if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe, as right now it would help out more than ever. And if you do end up enjoying this video, which I hope you do leave a like as well. You can also help me out by doing that. So yeah, let's begin. Alright guys, first issue right off the bat is we need solos. There's no denying it. Apex will die eventually without solos. Maybe easily a few years down the line, it'll completely die out if they don't add solos. Warzone has solos, PUBG I'm pretty sure has solos, Fortnite has solos. You need solos in a battle royale. And I know EA, they said they don't like doing it because it doesn't work in Apex. Now I would sort of disagree. I mean, I know I wasn't there playing the game when solos was around in the early stages of Apex, but I do believe the game will eventually die out if they don't add it in, because let's be honest, Apex, I know it's a battle royale, it's open world, but it's painfully reliant on teamwork, and not everyone is a team player or has good players to play with. And I mean, the evidence is there. You won't see this with the most popular videos you see of gameplay of Apex on YouTube and the big streamers that play the game, because they have other pros to play with most of the time. And when they don't, like I said, the evidence is there. More often than not, I mean almost always, they're never playing trios, they're always playing duos, because like I said, Apex is so painfully reliant on teamwork, guys. And like I said, I know it's a battle royale, I know it's open world and it's designed like that, but honestly it really makes it hard to get kill streaks, and basically makes it even harder to win. Even if you're I don't care if you're the most skilled player there is, it'll still make it so hard to win. So there has to be that option of solos. But of course, on EA side, I'm trying to be balanced here, guys. I do understand how there would be more sections of the server, meaning there'd be trios, there'd be duos, then there'd be solos, and then there'd be ranked. So there'd be a lot of lobbies, and that would kind of divide the player base and the matchmaking. It would make matchmaking longer and more difficult to set up, and waiting for matches, it would make it longer. But like I said, Apex is just too reliant on teamwork, and we need to have the option of solos in the game, I think. And it's not only because of that, how reliant it is on teamwork, but building from that, most of the time, if you're in pubs, right, and you can be a very good player, you can be a highly skilled player, most of the time you're going to be carrying your team if you're just matched up with people who don't know how to play the game. The thing is, it'll always come down to, if they've got poor positioning, they're not following it, or they just got bad skills. That's fine, not everyone has to be skilled, but given that, when it's in trios or duos, it's almost as if it's going to be like a 1v2 or a 1v3 when you come across another squad. And like I said, the evidence is there. That's why big streamers and content creators on Apex, when they're getting content, they're always playing duos if they don't have people to play with. Why? Because it's easier to deal with one useless player rather than two, and it's easier to engage and win a 1v2 as opposed to a 1v3. So yeah, that's why they're in duos, and the evidence is there. I mean, I don't see how Apex having solos will ruin the game. I understand from EA's point of view. I mean, I doubt anyone else would actually agree with EA. It's only going to be the development team. However, I do see if someone else is going to agree with the development team. I do sort of understand, because I know the abilities of some of the legends, they're wired to be more useful in helping your teammates. And a perfect example of that, of course, lifelines drawn. After a battle, all your teammates can come to it, heal up, and that's one of your powers, helping your teammates. So of course it would help you in solos, but it would be rendered more useless. And similarly, actually I would say this one is a very good point in their favor. Like Wraith, for example, I mean Wraith's portal would be almost not completely useless, but it would be a lot more useless in solos as opposed to in duos or trios, because when you're having squad battles like 2v2, 3v3, whatever, of course when you're in the middle of the battlefield, not everyone's going to chase you down to a portal to find out where you're going or where you're escaping to cover. However, if you're in solos and it's a 1v1, which it would be most of the time, of course they're going to follow you there, aren't they, the enemy team? So there is that, but still I don't think this is enough of a reason to have the game devoid of solos, because a lot of the Legends abilities will be rendered useless and a few other things therein. I think Apex just definitely needs solos, otherwise I do believe the game will eventually die out without this game mode. So that's the first issue. Now, the second issue, okay, this one's going to be a bit controversial, and I know some of you are going to disagree with this, and that is broken legends in the game, and more specifically Caustic, how overpowered Caustic has actually become. Okay, first off, guys, I'm sorry if you're a Caustic main, but I have to speak the truth now. You can't even see through his gas. Literally, you can't even see through it. You can barely move. I mean, the problem is with some games nowadays, including Apex, is they cater towards unskilled playstyle kind of things. They cater towards making unskilled players good. I mean, the same thing happens in Warzone when you've got like a tosser on a roof camping somewhere and he's just pointing down with an LMG trying to catch someone off guard and they can win the game that way. And that's a similar example. I could give many more examples therein, but I swear to God, Caustic is just so overpowered. And you'll see it for yourself, guys. If you're not a Caustic main, approach it with an open mind. I don't want to say trash or like crap player, because I don't like using vulgar words like that. We all learn at our own pace. However, just look, whenever you're matched up with a Caustic, see how much of the time that player is actually skilled. 90% of the time, they're not skilled at all. That's why they have to compensate with their traps, and this is how Apex has been developing a legend like Caustic to cater towards noobs. Look, a game should be all about skill, and like I said, you can barely move. It renders skilled players prey to noobs when skilled player can't see, so he can't aim, he can't track the enemy, and he can barely move, so the element of movement, strafing, ducking, jumping, avoiding bullets, moving out of the way, trying to escape the battlefield. If you're too damaged down in a battle, you can't, because you can't even move through the gas. And some people might draw the example like, oh, Watson's got laser traps, what about that? Look, Watson's laser traps are so easy to spot. They need to be in between a door or two sides of a wall of a certain length. I mean, you can't just like slap them down on every building you want. They're easy to spot, and not to mention you can hear them as well. They're easy to spot and you can hear them, whereas Caustic's gas traps, you can literally point them on a corner, and then as soon as you're coming up a building, it'll literally catch you and slow you down, and you won't even be able to see, and it literally just needs to hide behind a corner or behind a door, and it can block off doors as well. That's another convenience. You can't hit the gas traps, and anyone can get caught in it. Watson's laser trap, you literally have to walk through. Caustic's gas trap, you literally just have to be a few meters away and you'll get caught in it. So I mean, it's not a comparable example. It's just very, very unfair, especially unfair to the legends without an escape strategy or power. For example, Wraith, of course, if you main Wraith like I do, then you could queue out of there. If you had enough time and you avoided bullets, you could just queue out of there, get to safety, heal, go again, reposition, that kind of thing. And I've done that before and I've won again, but still, it's just annoying. It's just an inconvenience, and it caters towards an unskilled player style, and I don't like that. And I've also heard a lot of people say it's useless in an open field, so Caustic isn't OP because of all these reasons, concerning the gas traps and whatnot. Look, guys, that's not a valid argument. Again, you can say it's useless in an open field, and that would be true because when you're battling in an open field, you can see it clearly, and let's be honest, you're not going to go near it because you have all that space to avoid it, and you just don't usually get caught by gas traps in an open field. It's just when there's actually terrain, like there's object mapping. Okay, I would agree with that. However, the ring, like half the time, rings at the end of the battle in Apex, they often end near one building, and if there's any object mapping, especially if the match is ending and the ring is going towards one building, closing in, and if it's a full team, including a Caustic in there, and they've beat you there, that's where this legend just breaks the game. That's where Caustic breaks the game. And you've seen countless clips on this on Reddit and stuff, like how this works. It just breaks the game, and there's almost nothing you can do then. He just needs to keep setting the traps down, and there's nothing really you can do. And you're just going to get caught outside. You won't be able to get in because of the gas, because you die if you go inside because of the gas. And if you don't do anything, the ring will close down on you and you'll die anyways. So like I said, I mean, Caustic's gas traps are just way overpowered. It's not a legend that needs to be buffed. And yeah, that's why this legend just breaks the game in this kind of scenario or more kind of scenarios. It just makes a high amount of skill rendered useless in other legends when you're playing against other players. So I mean, I know you can like point out other legends and say, oh no, what about, you know, Gibraltar, he's too strong, his shield, it takes forever to kill him, or, you know, Pathfinder, like, I mean, even though Pathfinder got a nerf on the cooldown of his grapple, like, look guys, you can argue those are issues, but honestly, they don't break the game. Caustic actually breaks the game. There's so many scenarios you'll be in where Caustic literally breaks the game. So you can point out all those issues pertaining to those other broken legends, I would agree with some of those issues, but they're not really that big. I mean, like, how hard is it to kill a Gibraltar when you know he's so big and he's got such a big hitbox and he barely moves? It's not the same thing. It doesn't have as much of a negative impact and in rendering, you know, skill useless as Caustic does. So yeah, I think as part of my constructive criticism, this second issue is Caustic is definitely the most broken legend in Apex, and we definitely need something done about him, because I know you can disagree with this, guys, but honestly, I've had battles ruined by, you know, players who aren't even skilled, and they just catch me in the gas, and then I become a sitting fucking duck for them, and, you know, just waiting for them to kill me because I can't move and I can't see because of the gas trap. The reason it caters towards an unskilled playstyle is because it makes it literally target practice for the opposing player. So that's that. I do think Caustic needs to be nerfed, or because I'm not going to say like they need to take Caustic out completely, because they're obviously not going to do that, but I think that's unfeasible, that's unrealistic. But I think Caustic definitely needs to be nerfed because of these following reasons. Alright guys, the third and final issue I want to cover is quite simply, I think everyone pretty much, this is really undeniable, nobody's going to disagree with this, is server issues. Guys, lag when playing causes slower movement and slower sliding time. I've seen it myself, and that's happened to me so many times, because sliding, obviously guys, there's no vehicles in Apex, but it's an open world battle royale. The mobility is key in Apex. It's what makes it so good. It's what makes it so much more of an all-rounded open world battle royale game than Warzone, where you can't even move, and if you get caught you're just dead straight away. That's what happens, and this has happened to me so many times. Like, mobility is key in Apex, guys. Slower movement and slower sliding times. I incorporate sliding as part of my movement in my playstyle a lot, and you'll see me when I'm playing Apex, guys, and I think every like high skilled player will. However, at the same time, when the game's lagging and the connection's behind, and, you know, higher ping, whatever you want to call it, that's going to reduce the time to slide. And when you don't have enough momentum to slide forward, for example, if you just sprint for 1 second and you try sliding, it won't work. You'll crouch, your movement will be deactivated, and you'll have to press down on the keys again, or the buttons if you're playing on a controller. Again, I'm pretty sure it applies to a controller as well, and then you'll start running again. Now, in an enemy battle, going towards a battle with the enemy on the open field, that's fatal, guys, because think about it, I'm running towards them, I'm sliding, they catch me in an open field, like I've slid, and because of the lag holding me back, I didn't have enough momentum or speed to actually activate the slide because of the lag, whereas I should have, because if the connection was fine I would have, because of course once you get used to it, once you play the game more, you get used to it, you know the time to slide, and it just becomes second nature to you. And just like how you know which walls you can climb and so on and so forth, so it's something that becomes second nature to you. However, the lag will hold you back, and then you'll end up standing still in front of the enemy for target practice, and this will increase your chances of dying. So I mean, as you can see in the gameplay here, I'm showing you guys, the game was lagging and I couldn't even I was in the middle of a squad battle and the game kept lagging. I was barely moving, I was finding it hard to even move properly and slide, and I was just felt so much slower. And yeah, the lag is definitely an issue when playing Apex. I mean, I'm in the UK, so I'm playing on a London server. I remember, I think around the beginning of season 5, I can't remember what it was, near the end of season 4, beginning of season 5, right? The lag was actually disgusting, guys. And I have a very fast internet, like I have very good internet, and I checked my internet speed, there was nothing wrong there, and it was just a server. And I know that because when I tried it on the Amsterdam server, it worked fine. Like, I was shocked how good the game was running because this lag was so prolonged. I actually got used to it. Like, you know, seeing those 3 red dots in the top corner of the screen, I actually got used to it, and I didn't actually know how fast Apex is actually supposed to run when you've got a good connection. So when I played on another server, I was actually shocked. Oh wow, this is actually how it runs. So yeah, I mean, the connections, in terms of the server issues, the connections, server lag, these things definitely need to be looked upon more and kept more up to date. And then the other server issue, well, I mean, it's not technically a server issue, but I guess you could put it in this category, is players leaving rendering trios to duos, which is pointless in trios in this game mode. And it's pointless because you're playing it at such a disadvantage. It's just ridiculous, guys. I mean, this happens so often, I'm pretty sure you'll agree. And it doesn't just happen in trios, it'll happen in duos, and then you'll be by yourself. And although that might not be as bad, still it's bad. Even in trios, you get left with you and someone else, 2 people, 2v3, you're at a disadvantage right from the get-go. So yeah, it's definitely unfair. And now I think it's because either someone gets disconnected or they leave or something of that nature. So what can EA do about this? Honestly, I don't know, but that's definitely a problem that needs to be solved. There's definitely something that has to be put in place to prevent that from happening, or at least reducing it happening, because it happens so often. And yeah, so there we go, that's what we got, guys. We had first issue, we need to add solos. Second issue, we got broken legends like Caustic that need to be nerfed, and that needs to be sorted out, and their abilities need a double check. And then we got server issues. So I mean, Right now, I think to summarize, those are the three main issues EA and Respawn need to work on. I know a lot of you will have a lot of colourful things to say about EA and how they are as a development team, and I would be talking on my arse if I didn't agree. However, we need to have faith, guys. All these issues can definitely be solved, and the methods in fixing them is by no means out of reach or too far-fetched. Like I said, I think it would be ridiculous if they just removed Caustic at this point, because, you know, that's obviously not going to happen, and it wouldn't be stupid for them to add solos. I'm in my argument. It definitely needs to be in the game. So yeah, I mean, the methods in fixing these issues is by no means too far-fetched, I think. Now, with that all being said, guys, I don't approve of bashing or giving up on a game just like that, because Apex is still undeniably a solid title. I mean that literally. It's either we be patient on such fixes and improvement to come to Apex, guys, or we can jump in Warzone and get shagged by multiple camping virgins with zero skills from on top of a building with fingers up their arse listening to fucking Justin Bieber. But other than that, ladies and gents, I like how Apex is currently and the current state is in, and I see a bright future. I mean, we're coming towards the middle point of Season 5. Loba, the new legend, I've played quite a bit, and not only does she bring a unique backstory as a legend to the game, but also is well designed with her powers, I think. Not necessarily useless as Mirage and Lifeline were before their buffs, but not necessarily anything OP for sure, that is. And that's the kind of good development we need and work on we need on the game as more updates and content comes in. And I'm just saying it here and now, guys, when I looked at the history of the game, I mean, it's barely been out a year and a half. However, I did predict before Season 5 that Season 6 they would add a new map, and I know rumours have been circulating now about that as of late. I just wanted the record to show the Hulk called it first, because believe me, I did. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's it for the video. I just wanted to talk about Apex as a game, like as a top title, is among the top titles. I genuinely believe one of the most all-rounded battle royales. I just want to talk about the current state of the game is, and for playing for about 3 months, these are definitely the issues I've noticed. But yeah, we can only hope for the best, and going forward, guys, you can see a lot more Apex content coming, and you can see how I am in that. But that's all I'll say for now. Well, who am I kidding? You probably already saw in the background, but yeah. Keep on, guys, upwards and onwards. That's it for the video, guys. I want to mention very quickly, if you are new to the channel and you did enjoy the video, please do subscribe, guys. It would help out a lot right now where I am in my YouTube journey. And also, if you did enjoy the video, please do drop a like, because that will also help me out a lot and it'll help this video reach more people. But yeah, till next time, guys, I will see you all in the next one. Take care.